Not everyone can be a creditor nation at the same time, though. How
That's
do you get
correct.
a global balance? What's the right way?
Well, one way, unfortunately, since the way things are building up, you have currency crises. And we're going to have more currency crises. We've been having currency problems and currency crises. You mentioned Iceland before. Well, there are more coming. It used to be in the old days when we had the gold standard, the gold would flow from the creditors to the debtors, and then back from the creditors, from the debtors to the creditors, and then the system would balance itself. We don't have those kind of automatic adjustment mechanisms anymore, and so you're going to see more currency crises. It'll be resolved, if you consider that a resolution, in the currency markets.
So we've been talking about the euro. What are the other currency crises that you see in the future? Where are the points of strain?
The United States dollar, the United Kingdom pound, mainly the creditor nations will benefit and the debtor nations will suffer. Now, I own the U.S. dollar as we speak too, even though I've been sitting here telling you some dire forecasts.
You're anti-Europe, anti-U.S., but you own the euro and you own the dollar.
That's why, because everybody in the world, including me, is very pessimistic about the U.S. dollar. And I've been investing long enough to know that usually when everybody's on one side of a boat, you better go to the other side of the boat as fast as you can. Now, doesn't mean I'm right, but I own the U.S. dollar and I own the euro partly because of all the pessimism.
Let's give the Brits a chance to be whipped a little bit. How do you think they're doing?
It's a disaster. I mean, I don't particularly like saying that. Some of my happiest memories are from the UK, and some of my greatest triumphs are from, I got married in the UK, I went to university in the UK. The first time I got in the Guinness Book of Records was in the UK, so I have wonderful memories of the UK. But now, I mean, they've had a horrible balance of trade deficit for 25 years. It's getting worse. Two of the things which propped them up were the City of London and the North Sea, both of which are drying up now. I don't see anything to replace those sources of income for the foreign currency account. So, you know, they've got a new government which at least is saying the right things.
Is it doing the right things? It hasn't just talked. I mean, they've done some pretty bold
they've
things.
They've started doing some bold things. So I'm not convinced it's enough yet.
You mean the austerity measures should be even tougher?
Yes. I mean, the deficit in the UK is staggering. And yes, they're attacking it and trying to solve the problem. But remember, they have huge debts in the UK. It's a very, very large debtor nation now. It was bankrupt in the 70s. It was bailed out by the IMF. But then along came the North Sea oil, which started flowing in 1979. So things were great for a while. But now the North Sea is starting to dry up.
And what's your view? How does this translate into a view on the pound?
I don't own the pound. I sold all my pounds 2 or 3 years ago. I expect the pound to be a currency with serious problems over the next 5 years, just like the
Even worse
US
than
dollar.
the wretched euro and the wretched dollar?
The euro will be better than the pound and the dollar, I suspect, unless the euro disintegrates sooner than I think it will. No, you mentioned two currencies which are going to have serious problems. I've wondered, and I often wonder, which is going to go down faster, the U.S. dollar or the UK pound?
And your judgment at the moment is?
The pound will be worse than the dollar. I own the dollar, so I hope it's worse.